Today, from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Now a play fake, and here's Lock. Steps away to his left. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Lock now on first down. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Man is caught at the 6-yard line. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. It's a big play there for Seattle.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Shotgun snap to Lock. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Picking up where they left off before the open week that they had last week as they won going into that. And no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them because there's a trust factor that goes into this. Because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you should get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they're making a statement that they like that time off.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree, because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you can get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film. Just be you. Enjoy that time away, and then you come back ready to go.
Play action. Now it's Locke. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They fake the handoff, now Locke. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So pass interference the call. That's going to set him up with a 1st down.
And if it's a bang-bang play, maybe the flag stays in the official's pocket, but instead, he definitely impeded the receiver's right to catch the football. The officials letting the players know how the game's going to be called here in the 1st quarter.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a 1st. This is 3rd down. They look to throw. It's Locke. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call. But for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Second down and goal. Locke is going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Locke now on third and goal. Out to his left. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here, and it adds to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-zip.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
2nd and 7.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you... Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A give for Sermon running right. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. To throw on 2nd and 10. Locke. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. It's a big play there for Seattle. And that throw there going to put him over 4,000 yards passing now for the season, maybe strengthening his MVP consideration.
And you figure with still a handful of games left to play, 5,000 yards is not totally out of the realm of possibility.
Touchdown! A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Now the try here for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum? And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Running left is Sermon. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And then open down the middle of the field. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Drops this one down to Sermon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Robbins. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
And that completion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal.
He'll dump this off to Sermon, complete.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Stonewalled on second down. Now let's see what they can do on third and goal from the 2. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Call it a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down. 4th and goal.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force them into a field goal attempt.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And his kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
Gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
This one fielded at the 5.
So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll get started over at the Superdome in New Orleans. And it's the 49ers who have taken the lead into the intermission. Trey Lance with a couple of touchdown passes. From there, we head up to Wisconsin to check out the Packers at home in Lambeau. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. C.D. Lamb, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. Lastly, let's check in on our nation's capital to see what's happening with the Washington football team at home at FedEx Field. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. The Lions looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. In the game you're watching, it's been Drew Lock with a strong first half. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Back to throw. He's going to look deep now for Landry. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Here's Sermon. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. He'll drop to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal pushes him back big time. And now you'd figure the field goal team coming on 4th. They'll try and run. Sermon. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty. But it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And this one is right down Broadway. And a 2nd field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They've got the lead, and certainly a big reason why some of these catches we take a look at right now.
And I've seen it so many times that when units start to play really well, they feed off of each other and play even better. And they're making every catch possible. Contested, non-contested, easy, difficult, big-time plays. And right now, that's why their team's in the lead.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he makes it all the way down to the 19. It's a big play there for Seattle.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Locke working out of the gun. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Locke. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will get the lead up to 14.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches. Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Byron Murphy. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there. Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play.
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Steelers ready for their next possession. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw.
Checks it down to Sermon out of the backfield.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Robbins. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
If I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. And the Steelers on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robbins. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did. Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And it's caught. And in for the Steelers touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. The 4th quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's got it to make it 27-13. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll actually throw it with Locke. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Seahawks are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And he's going to go down again. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. He'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time as they have dominated the proceedings here into this 4th quarter. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
And they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. So that'll back him up 5. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll set him back 5. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. So that one will be accepted. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. So offense moving a little too slow there. Could not get set, and they get the penalty. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
Going to throw it here, and this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete, so they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Here's Locke back near his goal line, going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Launches deep, a jump ball, and this is caught. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. One of the good things about throwing it in his direction, he usually has the size advantage on those two-man catches.
And what I like about his game is that he carries himself at his full height. He understands it's an advantage and uses it at every opportunity.
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the Seahawks are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this fourth quarter lead. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This to the outside, it's Sermon. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. 2nd and 4. He finds his man complete. It's Robbins. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. To throw here. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis,